Apparently, you have to manually also click the go live button.
Yes, you have to do everything.
Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. So, now the stream is live. Thank you, Nick. Without your help, everything would have been doomed in
We would have
darkness
been
and
lost.
shadow and sadness.
Okay, yeah, it should just load
Shadow
up.
and Sadness, all of them.
Also, click the go live button. Yes, that go live button is amazing. Okay, so last time y'all successfully helped you helped the orcs remove the orc chieftain and solve the orcish civil war. The marked one is now orc chieftain and has now moved on to deal with Feudex. With nothing more to do, you and your human companions and elfin companions have returned back to the tavern to discuss your next course of action. For you know that the amulet is not something that you can continue ignoring.
I'd like to continue ignoring it personally.
No, we have skirted around that for so long.
I'll be honest, I had to make sure this map didn't have Dan in it. I was worried about that. So you all stand around the table and now have to discuss how you're going to accomplish getting to the Dwarfen lands. Your plans here, when you kind of figured out what path you want to kind of take to get to the Dwarfen lands, we can kind of start figuring out how many rolls we want to make. And here, what I'm hoping to accomplish here is y'all to determine who's going to be in charge of specific roles. You're going to need someone to cook the meals. You're going to need someone to essentially forage for food. You're going to have someone looking out for the path, scouting it, and making sure the party does not get ambushed. There's some other roles, but I'll let y'all kind of come up with those and kind of tell me what y'all want to do. And I'm releasing y'all. I'm going to shut up now.
So we're planning for our long trip, huh?
Yes.
Our very long trip and our favorite rocket ship.
Now, thankfully, you also have a lot of friends who are now going to basically help you kind of finance everything.
I see no cooking as an option here.
Yeah, what would we roll
Skill
for
option.
Well, I'll check, but
You'd probably roll wisdom.
you know what? To be honest, I would probably accept different rolls, but then the outcomes will be different based on what you roll.
Well, survival is wisdom, so
Yeah.
I think so. Hey,
as long as you don't try to lockpick and cook that way, that would be weird.
Well, no, Chris. What we're really doing is we're lockpicking the door to someone's food cupboard.
I like Nick's idea.
And we're borrowing their
somehow I feel like.
Are we permanently borrowing, or are we going to return?
Well, Rampage, that's up for debate.
Because cooking on the road might use nature, is a possible thing.
Yeah, no. So hang on.
Or maybe, Chris, you need to use perception
or
to the food is burning.
Or performance, because that's performing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like...
or maybe you have to put enough salt on it to deceive everyone that your food is good.
Yes. There you go.
I remember this now.
Hey, Chris, can you put up the map of where we're going? Do you have a map of where we're going?
I can give you... You actually only have access to a partial map, but I will definitely pull that up for you.
Oh, wow.
Right.
This is a large version.
So I think somewhere, and I don't see it on my...
Well, essentially, it's... You
We're
can
also
either
supposed to
go
have-
east or north and then east. I
So we're
think
all supposed
you
to
might have
have
a
different-
handout.
Based on
Oh,
our characters and whatnot, we all have different areas that we are.
Also, if you look at the handouts for region area map, you can actually see a big map. I don't know if you don't have
Yeah.
that handout, let me know.
Oh, shit. It's empty
No, I've
now.
got it. But we all have different skills in different areas,
Yeah.
and I don't see the ones that I thought mine were written down on this character sheet
I thought y'all did too.
because I know I had.
I know Nick did.
I'm
So-
sorry.
Where are we going? Where's the goal?
You have
Misty Mountains, right?
yeah, the Misty Mountains.
So it's not the mountains of Mirkwood.
It's northeast of mountains of Mirkwood.
Yeah, it's up here. So I think
So it's like here.
I know
It's-
I believe I'm Woodlands.
So it's like
So Nick, you were further north though, right?
Uh,
Because we're each gonna have. Is Wilderland a place?
Darn it, roll 20 has done something stupid, by the way.
No.
It's done something that's erased large amounts of the things that run my character sheet until I find the proper setting to change that back.
Come on.
Yeah, there's like a missing. Are you missing something? Is that what you did?
Yeah, it's looking for missing data thing. I'm trying to find the right setting for this.
Feats and traits. Select to be simple.
While you all are doing that, I'm going to connect my external hard drive and actually look at the big map because it's in that PDF.
Did you find it, Nick?
No, I have no idea where I'm looking. Here we are. I think I'm looking in the wrong option setting.
So looking for.
Here we go. There we go. That takes that back. Okay.
The general option.
You need to know about my known lands, correct?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Because my thought is, if as we pass through each one of these lands, the person we're all like familiar with different areas.
There's
And
my
so
list for you.
whoever is familiar with whatever area, they kind of take the lead in that area.
yeah, that's kind of smart.
But I'm trying to find.
So how do I? like,
Unfortunately, I don't think DK is using that kind of map.
I'm going to go grab that map. I have to go find it.
He is. So hang on. Did you figure out how to make it show again?
Yeah, no, I posted in the game chat the known lands that I have.
If I could see game chat. Okay. But you found that on your character sheet?
Yeah.
How did you make it show?
Oh, okay. So, are you in your actual character sheet?
Yep.
Okay. In the character sheet, there's a gear thing.
Yep.
Under the tab that says General Options, go to Features and Trait.
So I hit the gear. I don't have a. It just changes to like another.
Okay. An important question here. Did you hit the gear in your character sheet or the gear in your chat bar?
Character sheet.
Okay. There are a bunch of boxes. At the bottom of each box, it tells you what
I
that
see it.
box is.
I got you. All right.
So you want to look for the one that says General Options.
Uh-huh.
Then in that box, find the one that says Features and Traits. And then click on that and
Simple.
select Simple.
Perfect. Thank you.
And that will bring back all of the
Nice.
information that you had put in your character sheet that is no longer there. So, but that information, Mr. B, was only in my character sheet because I wrote it down in my character
Yeah,
sheet.
yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. So I finally got like the full-on map for y'all.
So in that section, see where it says over to the right, down, features and traits, down, right there, up. Change
Oh,
that.
right here.
Hey, Mr. B, if you look at the stream, I have the full map with all the regions on it.
Now,
Now scroll down. Scroll up a bit.
okay, now the important thing to ask DK is where are we going?
All right, so copy and paste that into.
like just there.
So as I recall, it would be the Iron Hills, if I remember from Mr. B's note back, because I think Mr. B is the only one who actually knows where y'all are going.
I believe we're going.
You'll have to look at your newspapers.
Lore Master Weekly.
I'll be honest, I went real ham with that.
Can we just mention how the Lawmaster Weekly doesn't update weekly?
Well, we haven't played it several months, Rampage.
Well, yeah, but like still.
We're supposed to play every month too, though, Rampage.
Oh yeah, so the first issue of Lore Master Weekly is actually the one with the actual hint.
The Iron Hills.
Yeah.
Now it's.
That's actually slightly off of your map. It's further east of the mountains of Mirkwood.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can see my stream, but I pulled up the big map for y'all.
Yeah,
I've got it up on my screen.
Okay, so so that location would be here. I don't know if that's even coming up on the stream.
All right, so
y'all are like right here right now.
Oh, you're actually like. Where on the map are we?
Y'all are in this region.
No, use words.
Okay, south of the old ford. And I think if you look at if you see the map that I have y'all on right now, New Mirkwood is south of the old ford.
So we're just south of Old Ford?
I don't know how to kind of relate that.
Well, I see the Old Ford.
Okay. And if you go back to Roll20 and the world map that I got loaded, you can see how far south the old fort is to New Mirkwood.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to use both maps. I'm sorry.
And where did you say we were on this one?
So on the big map, you're south of the old fort. You're sorry.
On this map, south where?
Okay.
I see.
You're in New Mirkwood.
Okay, so we're at Hobbit Town.
Yeah, you're east of Hobbit Town.
Yeah,
that works. Yeah.
Okay.
What I will say, Mr. B, is my known lands are not going to help you unless we go way out of our way
north. Yeah.
So I guess.
But
big,
You have game chat, by the way.
Rampage has Woodland, Northern
Realm.
Mirkwood, and Western Mirkwood.
And Upper East Valley, because that'll help.
And I feel like I don't have mine written down, but I thought I was Woodland as well. All the Woodland stuff. So my thought is, we take the river. We get on a boat. Take the river.
Where are we gonna get a
To-
boat?
The old ford. You can buy passage on the river.
I don't have money.
We should have like loads of money at this point. We
I,
haven't
I,
spent
I'll be
any.
honest. The town is definitely willing to help you, and you have a lot of allies, so you can call favors. This is the best time to call favors because you just did an amazing feat. So now you have like a whole bunch of favors to call upon.
And the other thing too is we're also doing this to help the town, so we can
Yeah.
favors on that end too. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing. in the
So
town.
like you have blank checks to sign.
So hey, Nick, are you looking at the region map?
Yeah, I'm looking at the region map. Why?
So I'm thinking we go north on the river to Old Ford Town, and then we go.
That's not a
East?
town. That's just a ford.
Yeah,
It's a
well,
bridge.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
literally a bridge. We've already been there, actually.
I know. And then we go east on the Old Forest Road. And
That
we
is
can
the most
go-
effective way there. Yes.
And then there's the other river, because I believe where we're going is that little mountain thing that's right on the edge of that region.
Uh,
So we could take that river up again.
we're going to the Iron Hills.
That's not where that is.
Well, if you're looking at the stream, we can't take a river directly there. We'd have to take a river down south first and then go upriver again. It would actually be faster to take a road there. At least I think that's a road on the map. That might just be an outliner, actually. For
Hey,
the
so
territory.
DK, you can't put this map in front of us?
You want me to send it to you? I mean,
No, I've got it, but he and I can't talk about this map together.
who do I need to send the map to?
No, you
No,
don't
like,
need to send it. You
just
can't
put it
us
on the map.
Oh,
No, that's incredibly difficult from what I understand.
All right, here a second. Let's see.
Do you actually already have that loaded up, DK?
I'm gonna try to do something to make things a little bit easier. All right. I'm curious. Can you see my mouse pointer?
Hey DK, you know what?
I mean, do y'all see my mouse pointer right now?
No, I do not.
It's unfortunate. Do you see the Gladden Fields?
No. What are you talking about?
On the map?
Hey DK, actually, you know what? I think I have a
So
good
you
way to
can
solve
do
this.
like this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you like highlight your Gladden Fields on this? Like doing that?
Okay, I just highlighted Gladden Fields. Do you see it?
Nope.
I mean, there might be a stream delay or something.
No, are you? So hang on. I'm not talking about doing this on the stream
Mhm.
because I don't have that up. Can you do
Okay.
it on the map that we have that we're on right now?
Oh, you need me to say where you currently are? Because this map doesn't.
I know where we are. So we're
Okay.
right here. Look
Yeah.
at the map in roll 20.
Yeah.
We're right here.
Okay.
Lots of green, right?
Mhm.
Can you draw on the map? Where's your Gladden Fields on this map?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because we can all see that.
This is like Gladden Fields.
I only see. Okay.
Oh, there. Okay.
Okay, well, so next to the River Gladden. All right. Now, I thought we were going to the little mountain things that are right up here. That's my understanding of where we are. Is that
Oh,
not correct?
the Mounds of Mirkwood?
No. You see where the arrow is?
All right.
Um,
I'm looking for the arrow.
Would you bring up the?
Oh.
Actually, DK, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
I've pinged you in the Discord channel. Could you send a copy of the big map there?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. So. Okay.
I don't know what that was.
Okay. All right. So after the Mountains of Mirkwood, it wouldn't be north. It would be northeast of that. There's
Okay.
essentially that's where past the Mountains of east of the Mountains of Mirkwood are the Long Marshes, and after that are the Upper Marshes, and then finally past the Upper Marshes is the Iron Hills.
Yeah, what you were actually looking at was I think the Lonely Mountain over there.
Yeah, I really wish we could just get that big map right here where we could all
Yeah,
see it.
yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
It's well, Mr. B. Let's see. Where's the thing DK sent me? What I wanted you to do, DK, was actually not to send it there.
I'm
I wanted
sorry.
you to send it from the channel I pinged you from,
Okay.
because then everybody could go play with it.
I don't know how to do that though.
Can you not upload it the same way you did?
I don't think you can do that.
Well, no, DK essentially sent the exact same message you sent me in this channel.
This channel doesn't exist.
The one I'm pinging you from?
Okay, so all right, I see that. Okay.
All right, somehow I don't feel like I'm a part of that channel. Just 'cause I hear it bleeping on the Rampage computer, but I'm not seeing it on mine.
Okay, I just uploaded. I'm uploading it to that channel.
Okay. Mr. Beeson, do you see where we are in the Discord?
Nope.
Here, that should help you.
Is it a? Oh, okay. It's inside there. All right. Cool.
Yeah, if you just download that and open that, you can just look at the big map all you want.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have Adobe Reader installed right now on this computer.
Might taking forever to download.
It's a big map.
Wow.
It was really hard to get. Like, I couldn't even upload this entire thing to Roll20 because of how big it is.
Oh, so that's why.
Yeah. So like, even some of my other like just pieces of the map are like too big. So like, I had to start like hand recreating it. It took a long time, and I didn't have the patience to complete the entire map.
Yeah, it's not downloading. So we're not working off this region area map.
Essentially that's like one piece. You're going past that map.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going significantly outside that map.
Yeah. I originally was going to have y'all like try to have to find another piece of the map, and then I was going to then give me time to build it.
This is like not downloading.
But Mr. B,
So if we go,
we're essentially going to the opposite side of the map.
okay, that's fine. Cool. So if we go by boat up here, and then we go east, right, on this road. 'Cause I can't see where else we're gonna. I can't see the next part of this.
The next part, Mr. B, we'd either have to walk essentially through a massive set of marshlands,
Uh-huh.
or we would have to go southeast by boat, and then go north and then west by boat once we hit a bend in the river. because we can't go straight there by river. We'd have to go downriver until it met with another river, and then go up towards the hills.
Okay, so where are we going?
Essentially, Mr. B, we would take. Okay, let me. We would take a long. No, that's outside. We would take a long and winding path from over there down to there, and then we'd go way up and back that way. I can't draw off the map, otherwise I would draw off the map.
So this blue line's not supposed to be on this map going through this far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, imagine sort of if the start of my blue line was at the end of your green line. We have to go a stupidly long distance.
Okay, that's fine. What's a different way to go that's not a stupidly long distance?
We could try to trek directly across the marshlands.
Oh, hey, how's that? In that Discord channel, I just took a screenshot picture.
That's much better. Okay, so we're going to the Iron Hills, and what we're thinking is there's no roads through the upper marsh.
Well, we don't know because, the map doesn't display roads.
It does. I mean, it's got Old Forest Road.
Yeah, I mean, but that's basically the only road on it. There are like two paths.
Yeah, one going through the wastes and the other one going through the nether marshes.
So we don't know what kind of roads we'd have to deal with. We'd have options to trying to go over there.
God, Discord's being ridiculous.
Really?
So,
Yeah, I can't open the original. I can't zoom this thing in.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So you're not
Mr. B.
thinking you're thinking that's not a road right there?
So, Mr. B, what is this?
Is that just like a border?
Like, what is
Yes.
like that? So is this?
They're
just
saying that's a border, not a road. So I
Here.
can see that.
Oh,
Mi-
But it
Mr.
looks like the road just ends.
Let me show you. Let me show you a copy of the picture without the borders. So I'm sending another screenshot. That's what it looks like without borders. Like,
So it's So are you wanting to take the river?
there could be a more direct route. The thing is this map only displays like 3 major roads on it.
Yeah, I get it. So it's not map. Well, at least we don't have that map.
Yeah, so we
That's
don't
fine.
have a copy of the map, so we won't really know until we hit the end of the old
Alright.
road, and
But,
maybe
okay, so that's fine. So are we not going to go to Old Ford and then the Old Forest Road, or are we going to do that?
well, no, let me finish. What I think we should do is we should do that, and then when we hit the end of the Old Forest Road, we should try to look for like a town or something, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
I mean, depending on, it's taken us like long times to travel short distances on this map, and we're looking to go a really long distance. So I don't know the actual scale, but I mean, theoretically, that's months of travel. So just to get to the end of the road.
So the other thing too is our best bet is probably to see if we can find someone else who knows more about that than we do first before we make that plan.
I'm providing some other screenshots with a little bit more zoomed in for you.
I don't.
Well, either way. Okay, but hang on. We're going to go up to Old Ford and then across, right? That's our first.
Yeah, that's our
Okay,
first thing.
so if we're going to do that, we don't see any towns along this road. That doesn't mean anything.
You know
This
what we
doesn't
do have
actually
the
mark
option of
towns.
doing?
What's that?
We could try going to the end of the Old Forest Road and then following the river north until we hit Asgaroth or Dale and seeing if we can find more information there.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
no. So either way, we're going to go the Old Forest Road. Then, to your point, it makes sense to find out if there's anyone who actually trades out there and has a map out there before we leave, or
so-
every town we go to.
And to be fair, if there's not a town at the end of the Old Forest Road, we'd probably have to go up there anyway to get boats in order
Yeah.
to travel by river. So
That's fine. So this doesn't actually show. This map doesn't show towns on it,
it shows
so
a
we can't
couple
see any.
towns.
So what we may want to do is initially find there's a cartographer somewhere in town. I thought. And are we gonna? What are we doing something with the kid?
Yeah, the kid's gonna come with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we take him with us.
All right. So maybe the cartographer can actually give us locations of towns along the way. Because if they're towns, then we don't need to rough it for a good long time. Because we can just eat in the inns along the way. That makes sense?
That is kind of.
No? Yes?
I
I think maybe.
You think maybe so?
I think so.
mean, you could also like go to the city of Dale, right?
Where's that?
Look at that last picture I added.
Well, that's actually slightly further up.
Oh,
DK,
this
further
one
down.
actually has towns on it. Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I kind of zoomed in on that because like this is like common knowledge from just the maps that you had.
Well, Mr. B, they all had towns on them. The thing is that there just aren't very many towns in that particular area that we know about. It
Yeah,
looks
there's
like-
that three cities and then there's nothing.
Yeah,
So DK, one square is one hexagon on this. The problem, all of these are different. The same hexagon size, but
I'm.
one hexagon is how much travel?
Oh gosh, let me look at the chart for that. Oh, okay.
Because if that's the case, I would almost rather take if we're going to Dale, I would almost rather go all the way north to through on the river through East Middle Vales, and then take the elf path through to I can't read it. Hang on.
the Elven King's Walls.
Where'd you see that?
That's the name of the town.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I was gonna say yes, go through there because we passed it.
So let's see.
Asgaroth.
Asgaroth.
So
Asgaroth.
every hex should be treated as about 10 miles.
And how long would 10 miles take?
Well, that matters how fast you'll travel those 10 miles.
Well,
Well,
I mean, you can walk 3 miles an hour.
On average, but you also have to consider we're going to be carrying a lot of gear, so we're going to be
That's what
going.
horses are for.
that's what horses are for.
I mean, like you have a bunch of knights that might even like maybe you could ask for an escort as well.
And
That
10
would
miles by
exercise
river would
down.
be really quick.
But that's it. It's all up to y'all.
Well, so if we went all the way up to the elf path, past the that elven town if we wanted to. And then to Esgaroth, and then to Dale, and then to the mountain city. There might be a way through the upper marsh at the top before the waste, if that sounds.
Yeah, according to the map, there is a road that goes from Erebon all the way to the Iron Hills. So, like, Erebor is north of the Dale.
Yeah. So I'd skip the Misty. Let's skip the mountains of Mirkwood and just go all the way up.
Yeah, there.
Make that elf path.
Yeah,
That'd be my thought if we're gonna go all the way up to Dale. Because that gets us a lot of river travel. And river travel, well, I guess theoretically, which way is the river going? North or south?
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a really good.
Depending on the size of the boat, it might not actually matter.
It might not, depending on the size of the river and the size of the boat.
So,
But that's going to be much, much quicker.
I've given you a map of that elf path.
so
Yes.
I figured these would be like little pieces of the cartographer's collection.
Something to keep in mind too is that that's actually safer as well.
The river?
I
And the
think
elf path? Absolutely.
The elf path is safer. If you look at the map based on the difficulty in color coding,
Oh, yeah, totally. The mountains of Mirkwood are tragic.
the Old
Bad
Forest
news
is
bears.
far more dangerous for
yeah,
us.
the old
Especially
forest
since-
road is considered red.
Since we have an elf,
But
you know.
the other thing too is Mirkwood in general is just going to be very difficult for us. The safest path would be actually to go all the way north.
Yeah.
Just go all the way around. But obviously that would take much longer.
No, if you go up to the elf path, it's going north of Mirkwood.
So, well,
That
that's
gets you
still
pretty
part of-
close to where you come from, too.
I would help you. I would help you more, even further north than that.
Yeah, because you're like Northern Dale lands, right?
Yeah, I'm Northern Darelands. I've also got the Grey Mountain Arrows, which is
Yeah.
actually still easier than Mirkwood, funny enough.
Okay, so again, my vote, we take the river, we go all the way up to where we can get off on at Forest Gate, right there south of East Upper Vales, jump on the elf path, follow that to Esgaroth, take that north through Dale to Eberlo, and see what we can find.
Well, why don't we just see what we can do in Esgaroth?
Yeah, that too. Either way.
I don't know why we'd go further north into the other big cities.
He just told us it was a road all the way to Iron Mountains.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah.
So
So did I.
So I estimate the travel to be about 500 miles to 600 miles.
Well, that's a long jump.
That matter. Well, see, the thing is, you're going. The Dale to Erebor is through a mountain, so I'm kind of adding some kind of rough terrain potential there. 500 is the best case scenario.
What about worst case scenario?
Well, that's what the 600 was. I added
So-
an extra potential 100 for having difficulties either getting too close to the marshes or because essentially you are going to be crossing next to the waste.
So
So
if
that-
we were walking and we walked for 5 hours a day, which we're not walking, and we walked it 5 hours a day, that'd take us 33 days.
So about a month.
Whole month.
But we're not walking.
We're not
We're jumping on a boat.
jumping on a boat. Jumping on a boat. We like boats
half
because we're
that-
jumping on a boat.
Half that distance is, well, a third of that distance is on a boat. No, actually.
Can I
Distance is on a boat.
can I kind of throw out a carrot?
What's a carrot? What do you mean?
You calling us donkeys?
Well, I mean, I was curious if you wanted to be thrown a carrot. There is a lord who is next to one of those rivers who kind
Nope.
of you helped a lot.
You may recall his mansion burned down.
True, but he's not dead.
You're correct.
Okay.
He's not dead.
That's fine.
I'm just throwing out as someone you could maybe call on if you wanted to.
That's fine. Are we agreed that we're gonna take that route?
Sure.
So let's see. Yeah.
Now, interesting enough, if I'm looking at this correctly, see that river. Oh wait, you know what? I see that river doesn't connect there, but
It doesn't, but it's a short distance.
yeah.
At this point, there's only 3 of us. We only need 3 horses and something to carry some supplies.
Well, don't worry. The Knights of Rohan have lots of horses.
Are they being used?
Well, we can.
Well-
I mean that.
We can steal them from them?
So first thing we have to do is establish the route, and we'll figure out supplies.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm just trying to get.
Well,
everyone agrees on the route.
We have the route.
Okay, so we're gonna go take the river.
Yes. We already know how
Awesome.
we're doing it now.
So now we just need to find someone who can. Wait, a boat we can get on,
We have that.
and
We do?
some supplies.
Let's just say we have a lot of people we can call in favors from Rampage. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now we need to know from someone. So it's about half of that. Say it's about 200 of the 500 miles on the river. So we still got about 300 miles through the Elf, northern Mirkwood.
Let's see.
Which all of that stuff's way out of my realm on
Expertise.
familiarity. What were you?
Actually, you know what, Mr. B? This is going to sound crazy, but we could make even more of that journey by river.
Nani?
So because here's the thing, right? We could actually make almost the entire journey through the wood. We could make the entire journey through the woodlands by river. If we went all the way up to the Grey Mountain Narrows and just traveled over land, it's probably maybe 50, 60 miles, and then got on another boat and went down to the forest via boat, we could take that boat all the way down to, the first Elven city, or, wherever we want to go.
Yeah, we could. You know that area better than we
I
would.
do, actually, yes.
So if you think that's possible, the problem is finding a boat in the Grey Mountains.
Well, DK, I know this. I happen to know that area, so I
Nick,
would know where it would be possible.
can you roll me? What stats for remembering locations?
What's that say again?
What stat do y'all think for rolling on a location that you're aware of?
It would be wisdom.
All right.
Survival is wisdom. So
Wait, so can it?
Well, this would be an area I'm actually familiar with.
I'll give you a massive bonus. Don't worry.
I got a 14.
Oh my.
So this is an area that the game says I would be familiar with. So.
Okay. All right. You actually do know somebody up there who actually provides a special river service. So the way it works is they actually are running a rope, and essentially the rope is pulled to bring the boat across the river against current. makes the travel very safe. There's a bunch of like little way stations, and they just pull the rope. It's a good trolley service, and you believe that the price is fair.
Well,
So-
how much is it?
Yeah, so I say if we can get a boat all the way to the top, and you have a good boat all the way down, boat travel is much better than horse travel any day of the week, except for we have to make sure we can eat.
We could theoretically get horses to go with us on the boat
Oh yeah,
all the way north. Take those horses over there, then sell the horses, and use the money and use part of the money from selling the horses to pay for the boat to go the rest of the way down,
Yeah.
as well as more supplies.
You notice that your treasure hunter friend, with the spear, he's got lots of gold. Perhaps he could also donate it upon also the patronage of your other friends.
Are you trying to suggest something here?
Since he's not here,
Are you suggesting that we just, take his gold from him?
well, I mean, that, or you have many acquaintances who could probably, because, I mean, you do have certain influential people to call upon if you want to.
Well, because the main goal was I didn't think I wasn't entirely sure those rafts were large enough to fit those horses.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Okay, well, we could theoretically take the horses the whole way then.
You can only take them as far as Esperoth. The river heading north is not passable.
So, yeah, we could theoretically sell them there then, and then we'd have a bit of extra gold on us.
Well,
So we-
wouldn't you want the horses to go up north? Because that would still be a long distance to the hills.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm sorry.
So,
I'll be quiet.
you know what I really dislike about Roll20?
What's that?
That I'm not allowed to erase my own marks.
Yeah.
This is incredibly annoying, especially when I'm just accidentally drawing the map.
There's no
And this-
accidentally drawing on the map. Do you need me to clear drawings for you?
That would be nice.
All right, what drawings do you need me to
Great
erase?
swirly masterpiece is gonna
All
go.
of mine?
I know that'll be okay.
What color is yours? Blue?
Yes, mine is blue. Well, that would definitely get us there.
But okay.
I think step one is we talk to a certain lord friend of ours, whose mansion may have burned down, but he's still a lord. We would probably get the Knights of Rohan to give us some supplies here.
Okay.
And actually, could you take us back to the inn?
Oh, of course. I really liked this inn. I stole it.
Thief! Thief!
When I say I stole it, I paid a large amount of money to receive the ability to use it.
But no, if we went and we talked to Marigold and Mr. Greed, I'm sure they'd help us out getting the bow. Our friends at the Knights of Rohan have been very helpful to us so far, and I'm sure would continue to be helpful to us in providing us with supplies. The mayor could probably provide us with some money and supplies for this journey as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows what kind of expenses we're going to run into partway through. We could also try calling in some favors from our from some of our other merchant friends who happen to be in the area.
Yep.
Uh,
Probably not the one that you traumatized.
you mean all of them?
In everyone's defense, those were some bad rolls.
And you know what? We did save them from a burning building.
This is true.
And the orcs.
I believe one of the NPCs was particular to you.
Yes, it was Mrs. Peacock.
Mhm.
Of course, I also have my own bodyguard.
Mhm.
So I'll bring him with. We may be able to talk to the orcs. Who knows what kind of information they can provide? I'm sure they've been all over. They might actually know something.
Okay.
It's possible they might actually be able to give us information that we don't have.
So while we're doing all this planning,
Plotting.
I go and I write a letter to my secret buddy,
Okay.
and I kind of tell him what we're about to do
Okay.
and the path we're going to take, and ask if he has any
Insight.
insight or assistance.
I think it would be actually especially prudent to talk to the hobbits. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they would be willing to provide us with food
Yeah.
for this journey.
Didn't your town give them food?
Yes, we have given them food, yes.
And that's why they'll be willing to give it up.
I'll be okay. I'll be honest with you. The hobbits would be willing to give you fish, but
Yeah.
I can't promise that they'll stay safe.
Yeah, but the thing is if we ask them for some dried fish is good for long journeys.
It is?
Yeah, if you dry fish.
Maybe. Okay.
Or maybe pickled fish, I don't remember.
I was thinking maybe smoked fish. Maybe?
Pickled fish.
Was it I don't
Pickled
remember.
fish.
I don't remember which one it was, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're a fishing village, and fish can actually be preserved in ways that actually keeps it good for quite long journeys.
I mean, Rampage has a very well preserved fish.
But I mean, Rampage always has well preserved fish. But
Rampage will never go wanting.
But the thing is that doesn't help the rest of us.
I mean, maybe if Rampage asked.
But see, Rampage hasn't asked, and that's the problem.
Well, fair enough.
And I mean, we can only spend so much time of the day fishing when there's chaos to deal with.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so can y'all give me kind of a list of favors y'all are going to ask, and we'll kind of roll for them?
Well, the biggest one is
Boat.
the boat.
Okay. Y'all have several options on who y'all are going to ask.
I am going to walk straight over to Mr. Green because he's sort of our liaison to Marigold.
Okay, so Nick, go ahead and roll 2 d20s.
Let me see if I can remember the roll. There you go, Chris.
Okay, cool. Now go ahead and roll a charisma check.
So, actually, you know what's funny about this, Chris? Did you know my character's specialty is actually trading?
Okay.
Really?
Well, there you go.
I don't think that applies in this particular case, and I don't know what that actually does.
Never quite figured that out. Alright, I guess I probably didn't even need you to actually roll a charisma check because your natural bonus beat any resistance that he had. The natural bonus that you received from helping him exceeded the resistance he had.
Huh.
Alright, so you where do you want this riverboat to go to?
So, well, it depends on where we can get on. So whatever the nearest place we can get on.
You can actually enter the river left of the town.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd want to get on it there, and we'd want to take it up to the Grey Mountain Narrows.
Alright, that is now guaranteed. You have a boat to take you up there.
Okay.
Yay!
You actually
was
get
very
multiple
hard.
boats to move equipment and so forth, and the horses. Okay, what next do you want?
I think step 2 should be to get try to get horses and supplies from the Knights of Rohan.
Okay.
So
The leader of the Knights of the Rohan would like to talk to you about that.
okay. Well, let's talk to him then.
He kind of takes his finger and he holds it up with a single finger up. One
Okay.
condition. I get to come with.
Agreed.
I'm also going to bring my loyal steward.
I see no reason why we shouldn't bring more people.
Okay. So they are guaranteed come, and you now have between the mayor and the Knights of Rohan. How much supplies are you asking for?
Well, I would say probably enough for. I guess it depends on how much we can carry, but I would want at least enough for probably a month and a half of travel.
So a thing to keep in track of, food that's going to be longer are going to be things that are going to be less satisfying. So essentially, as you travel, you're going to be going through your good rations, going into the rations that will keep.
I think, Nick, what we need to do is buy more food up in the Grey Mountains if there's a place to buy food in the Grey Mountains.
Well, I mainly just want basic food to get us up there to the Grey Mountains,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want primarily like the money to buy more supplies.
Okay.
Because I can guarantee you that, there are way stops, so we'll be able to buy food there, right? And then I can guarantee you that those 4 cities there are all big enough that we could buy supplies there pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would not be on this map. So we really just need the food to get up to the Grey Mountain Narrows, and then we need enough gold to be able to continue buying supplies.
Okay. So kind of as a precaution, essentially...
I would want... I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So here's the offer. 2 weeks worth of food that is good quality, and then 2 more weeks of basically biscuits and hard cheese, which will be enough, but maybe not. It'll start getting kind of tough at that point. And 4 gold given to you to help buy supplies.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Combined with the fact that between me and Rampage, we could probably hunt here.
Probably.
And we could probably hunt basic game to help supplement ourselves.
Yeah, you'd actually prefer fresh food over the hard biscuits. It's you
So-
won't die, but the biscuits will be very unpleasant.
Because let's be honest, knowing Rampage skill with the bow, and knowing the fact that I'm also not half bad, we could probably get it. We'd probably get some game. And Mr. B probably has enough wisdom; he could set up basic snares.
I'm pretty sure Mr. B could probably command. No, I'm just kidding. Like he's like, animal, come, feed us. Then the squirrels and
Feed us with your life.
With all the elves we have in this group, DK, it wouldn't surprise me if they could just go to the birds. We need food, and then like the birds fly off, and then 30 minutes later, there's an army of birds carrying berries.
Okay, fair enough.
That would be.
Like Rampage just like passively commented to some bird, like he was hungry, and the birds heard him, and then like an army of birds and squirrels came running with like nuts and berries.
Okay. So next order of business.
I leaves us pretty well on supplies, to be honest. Because 4 gold is actually quite a bit. I guess, Mr. B, do we want to actually bother calling in favors with anyone else, or do we want to save those favors?
Yeah, I don't know that we need to.
You might want to like maybe earmark favors.
So,
Well, I feel like once we leave, it's gonna be a long time before we see these people or are able to talk to them again.
it
Yeah.
will be a long time. The important question is do we feel like, will we ever need these favors again in the future? In which it might be better to not use all of our
Mm-hmm.
eggs at once.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's no reason to pull in favors if we don't.
Exactly.
I suppose we could just go passively talk to some of the people who owe us favors and see if they might, know anything or have anything that might be worth calling those favors in for. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I don't think that we really need a whole lot else.
Okay. Do you still want to talk to the orcs, and do you still want to talk to Miss Peacock?
I really just kind of want to talk to the orcs in general because the orcs are cool, but yeah, that's just me personally.
But do you still want to talk to Miss Peacock?
No, I don't know that it's particularly necessary.
Are you sure? Okay.
She was gonna have this incredible deal, and she was gonna give.
No,
us
this is a
$70
character
billion.
that physically said like her loyalty is to Dick.
So I'll probably,
You're not needed.
I'm going to obviously tell everybody where we're going and whatnot, but I don't feel I specifically need to like speak to her about a favor right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, then roll a d20.
okay, I shall roll a d20 for you. There you go, Chris.
Of course. Nick, in your possessions, you find an old coin. You're not sure what it's used for, but it feels warm.
It feels what?
Warm.
Okay, I shall add that to my inventory.
Did you want to examine it at all?
Sure, I will attempt to examine it.
It has a feather on it,
Okay, this means nothing to me.
and languages that you're not quite sure of. Though you do recall some iconology on the other side, which appears to be. It kind of reminds you of like an old painting of an old manor that you used to be in.
I see. I shall hold on to this coin.
All right. So, what do you want to? Do y'all want to? What did y'all want to ask the orcs before you leave? Since they kind of owe you.
I personally just kind of want to talk to Marked One. See what his plans are after.
Unfortunately, he's still sieging Fudex.
Oh.
But if you want to talk to him, you can roll a d20, and if you succeed, you'll get to talk to him after the siege. Okay. Of course, you succeed again. Okay.
Okay, Nick, you're gonna be rolling for the entire team now.
No, these are the only good rolls I'm going to get.
You go fishing. You have it. Plus 12. Modifier. You fail.
You rolled a 1.
Roll a 1, you get a 13.
You
suck.
clipped your ear when you were.
You roll a 1. You pull out all of the bait, and you find the bait and
You lost your bait.
rats.
All right. You head over to Fudex's castle. You see it burning.
I approve of this.
Apparently, the Marked One successfully managed to find a weakness in the wall. And essentially just with the entire forces of the entire orc army, basically just destroyed it. Fudex is gone and no more.
They need to work on their wall build.
The threat of the castle is no more. Though you see something being greedily taken out of the castle. Fudex's old armor sets and some of the ancient weapons. Marked One seems displeased with... When I say displeased, I mean he looks slightly sad, as if he just had to do something he didn't want to do. You walk up to the Marked One. Go ahead, Nick. Nick?
He doesn't like the Mark 1 being sad, apparently.
Nick? Oh, Nick just lost internet.
Oh. That's kind of awkward.
Okay. I'll just describe the scene and we'll move on. Nick witnesses crystals being taken out of the old mines that were in Fudex's castle and crushed and laid across the ground. Apparently some sort of construction is being made of wood, some various materials, and the red crystals being crushed. And I'm receiving lots of messages. I wonder what they're from. Normally I wouldn't answer messages being sent to me, but I feel like this is good. Oh, Nick has informed me that his internet is being done.
It is.
Give me a bit to see what's going on. Okay, so with that scene, we're going to put that to the side. We'll deal with that later. Is there anything else y'all want to do before calling it? Is there any other allies you'd like to bring along?
Damn, but he got lost.
He's in a sack right now, being, and I believe Mr. Orange's men, what was his name? Colonel Mustard. Mustard's men are still trying to find those orcs because they were in some way responsible for what happened to their master. So maybe they'll find Dan.
Our master is dead, and it's because of you. What's your evidence? We have no evidence. Oh, in a book.
Well, the orcs that attacked the manor and took out Mustard, they saw him do it.
Yeah.
Those orcs were not in that battle, by the way. They skipped town. So that is a good question. Why weren't they there? Lots of questions there. That's their problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got top men on it. So is there any other allies you'd like to bring?
Is there? Do we need anyone else?
Well, I mean, you got the Hobbit guy, but I don't know that we need to bring him.
Yeah, good point.
I don't think who else. We started off with a larger party than we have now.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
We had a Dan, and then we had a.
Not Dan, and then we had another not person, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people vanished.
I mean, who do you feel is missing? There's someone here.
Yeah, we can't see who that is though. Who is?
He's the other apprentice.
Who's that?
Other apprentice? What does that mean?
He's the wizard apprentice. You know, the guy who also helped you with healing.
With what?
Healing.
Oh.
Yeah, but he is like aligned with Saruman.
Mhm.
Or whatever.
I mean, he's his apprentice.
That's a bad guy. So he would leave his tower?
I mean, you could always ask. I mean, you'd be rolling for it anyway. I'll be honest with you. I'm just like trying to mention characters there, not in any way suggesting anything. If you have a question of a character's name, you can always ask me though.
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't ask him.
Okay.
But
It's up to y'all. If y'all don't want to ask Arceus, that's understandable. Are y'all gonna ask Billy?
Well, I mean, Billy is coming either way, whether he
figured.
wants to or not.
I figured he was coming along anyway.
I mean, he
That's
did
not a
swear to take
question.
out that Necromancer.
Yeah, I can do that afterwards.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's coming.
I'm pretty sure at that point it would just be Rampage rolling like D100s. Auto pass, right? Okay. So no one else y'all want to bring? Okay, so you have Pip.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Okay.
And this is how we're gonna see if Billy's gonna come. All right.
Okay.
It's a 50-50 chance. I didn't even roll the 20. I was gonna make a joke of adding 20, but I even rolled a 20. So he's coming.
Fair enough. You know what? The dice don't lie. Okay.
Apparently
So
not.
Billy and the two members of the Rohan are coming with you. You didn't want to bring the Hobbit or Arceus. So then it's just Pip. Okay. Duly noted. It's awkward with Nick not here. So I guess then the other questions of preparation. Do we want to try to force in this like force march this, like attempt to accomplish all of this in one night, or do we want to give it more than one night?
No, I think we do the boat.
The
You know,
first boat.
If you want to
tonight?
do the boat all the way to the Grey Mountains,
Okay.
or if we're stopping along the way, I think we go as far. The most we go is the Grey Mountains,
Okay.
and then we stop because that becomes Nick's
Okay.
area of expertise.
All right.
Oh,
Hi.
sounds like we got a Nick back.
Oh, hey, Nick.
I had another band gateway error thing. I got Windows to fix it for me.
You got witches to fix it for you.
Okay. All right. So what I think we discussed is we'd make it over to. I was asking them how many, like, how much do we want to accomplish tonight? And they said up to Grey Mountains. Is that still the same?
Some of that depends on you. With Nick back now, we can do the Grey Mountains
Okay.
if we need it to.
Okay. All right, Mr. B, I'm gonna let you roll for your. I'm gonna let you roll this one. You get to
Okay.
roll 3 d20s.
What are they for?
They are to determine the construction quality of the boats that are going to take you to Grey Mountain.
Please roll all 20s. 1, 2, and 12. I'm going in the 12.
Oh no, we're adding them together.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm getting a text from my coworker. I'm gonna give him a call.
Okay.
Can I roll instead, please? Can I roll?
All right. The boats are of excellent quality.
Okay, then. I approve of
In fact, you managed to get a critical success and an almost perfect success. So that ensures that there'll be
It
no
reversed.
problems.
it reversed. The
Yeah,
ones
I don't
that-
always use the high number because if I do, then y'all kind of like I have to
I
add
like that
some
now.
suspense. I get to
I
choose
like
what the
this.
high number is.
Good job, Mr. B. Good job.
Well, like for this, it was like the lower number, the better. All right. So,
Okay, I'm doing the one.
so Rampage, you hear a sound in the air. Oh, 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 oh. Do you wish to use a perception check?
Why not?
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong? Okay, perception?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've done this. This one? Right? This
Mhm.
way? Right? This one?
Mm-hmm.
I think I tell exactly what it is.
It's almost as if the fog just like naturally just blows away. But you see people carrying torches and large constructions. You realize that the men that you've asked to construct your boat are physically moving the boats across land to bring them to you. Somewhat deconstructed so they could be constructed on the other side. But they're like hauling all this equipment.
Okay.
Just
I'll tell the other humans and stuff. I'll tell everyone else in the party. I guess.
okay, it's your job.
And then when they get there, I'll ask why they use the giant horn.
Well, no, the men doing it are going, oh, it's like hundreds of people carrying stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of singing somewhat. Well, not a song, but more of just making that kind of sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. With that, the boats have been constructed.
The boat's been constructed.
All right, so I guess we start loading up our merry crew.
Yep.
Whoa.
While you're loading up your merry crew, you noticed out into the air a plume of redness.
Wait, I have one question.
Yeah. Mhm.
Isn't the amulet still underground at
Pip has
Where
when
we
recovered
are.
it. But
Oh.
Pip is very much in charge of keeping the amulet safe.
so Pip?
Yeah. Pip is going on the boat with you.
I can only think of a couple thousand ways wrong.
With that, the red light disappears, and you know that somewhere the orcs are doing something else, far from these lands, and are no longer of a concern to you.
Bye, Orcs.
Bye forever. I never want to see you again.
All right. So, Rampage, I'm going to let you roll for navigation.
Oh God.
You're letting the kid navigate?
I'm letting Rampage navigate.
I mean, I'm 100 years old.
You
I mean,
should
I
be
guess
able.
it's fair. We're kind of heading back to his land.
Okay, what do I roll for this?
Actually, I probably should check.
Hey, I could roll acrobatics.
If you do, you may not like what happens.
You see, I do 50 somersaults into a tree, and
All
then
right, I actually going to give you a choice.
okay.
You can either use stealth, history,
Okay, I'm back.
So stealth history.
performance.
Okay, I'm gonna do stealth because I have a +8 in that.
Okay. Your boat
17?
convoy, you actually like blow out all the torches, and your boats depart at night, unseen, into the midnight darkness. So, Mr.
Off
B,
up and away!
you get to actually roll for bad events on the river.
Mm.
Hey,
Are
last
you
time I
excited?
rolled, it was brilliant.
So, Mr. B, for the first, say, 20 miles on the river,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and roll either a perception check or any form of intelligence check of your choice.
Do perception just because of wisdom.
Do you hear my noises of stirredness? Okay. 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 Okay.
You notice that the waves are non-existent. Everything is calm. The wind is on your side. The first 20 miles goes excellently.
The first 20 miles.
Yeah, the first 20 miles. The next 20 miles, go ahead and roll either a history or wisdom check, or any stat that uses wisdom.
Oh, hey Chris, you know what I've just remembered?
Perception again.
What's that?
I forgot about this.
Forgot about what?
So if our group does not have someone filling in as a hunter, scout, or lookout, I am allowed to fill in all of those roles at the same time.
Yeah. That doesn't. Is perception really wisdom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, yes. Perception is actually wisdom, which does
Dang
not
it.
make
Perception is wisdom.
Okay, I'll need to be more specific next time. You perceive some old, kind of tribal landmarks. You've kind of crossed by old land that you know used to carry quite darker things, but that darkness has now kind of left the land. It has no place here. Go ahead and now roll a history check.
You're doing like a lot of rolling.
I am.
Are you rolling a
Lore
dice?
or history?
History.
22. Okay.
You remember that there was a uh, eagle nest somewhere around here.
I can speak to equals.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, in fact, you know that with the right words and that letter that you also sent, that you will have extra sets of eyes, ensuring that the anything that might come from above will be on your side.
Yay.
Excellent. All right, Nick, perception check.
Wow. That was.
Nick. Oh, okay.
He's now a man of
Oh
silence.
my gosh, there's so many roles.
What? Oh yeah.
I just scrolled down like an hour to find mine. I did an 18.
Okay. You notice that there seems to be some like kind of old like refuge in the water of previous boats. Not so well as constructed as the ones y'all got.
The kind that needs to be pushed out of the way, or
Your boats will easily power through them. They've been reinforced.
so I don't have to worry about this.
But you can also see if there's you can there could be some useful refuge if you would like.
Do you need me to perform another perception check for that?
No, this would either be an acrobatics check, or you could ask someone to help you. That's if you even want to. If you don't care, then you could just plow through it.
Can I deceive people into believing that there's useful refuse?
Yes, actually, you can.
I don't think that would do us any good, though.
You could convince someone else to deal with it.
Huh.
I would like
Maybe go to.
I would like to convince Rampage to deal with it.
Rampage, before you, Nick comes to you and tells you about what he thinks is an amazing treasure from a treasure boat from the ancient dwarfen city riverboats. And you're about to cross one, and it could have some really useful treasure.
Okay, how much money is in it?
Well, you don't know. You'd have to fetch it before the boat crashes into it, destroying whatever is in and dragging it down the river.
I will roll a perception check. to see if it's like if I'm being lied to,
Okay, go for it.
if it's true, and if we should do something about it.
Nick brought like actual like drawings and showed them to you. The drawings match what you see. Definitely, you do see some dwarfen markings on the boat. It could be that legendary treasure boat. And Nick would never deceive you
I'm not too sure.
over something so important as this. And those moments, they're dropping away because if your boat hits it, it's just going to destroy it.
Okay, well, I'll like ask people to slow the boat so that we can actually like get a better look at it.
It would be quite difficult to slow the boat.
Rampage, I think that you're perfectly capable of performing the acrobatics necessary in order to.
I mean, I probably could. the bad part about that is I probably could.
Why do you think I came to deceive you, Rampage?
Oh goodness. Why me? Why do I have to make these choices? Okay, so what would I be doing if I rolled acrobat?
If you roll your acrobatics and succeed, you would basically leap across to the boat, attempt to find whatever item is there, and then leap back to the boat.
If I fail,
if you fail, you could slip and end up going into the river. You would not be hit by the boat.
Would I be able to catch up?
You could probably just grab back onto the boat.
Okay.
If worse comes to worse, the boat could probably stop to, help you.
Yeah.
Or one of the other boats would rescue you.
Acrobatics or dexterity?
Acrobatics.
Okay, boom. A 1. A 1! A 1! I mean, it's a 9, so we're gonna go with it.
I believe that is a crit fail.
It's a succeed, and I did it properly. Everything went perfect. I don't think that you're buying.
Okay. You leap across to the boat. You end up landing in a somersault. You see a chest on the boat. It has dwarfen symbols on it.
I open it. I want to open
it. And it's complete. It's like reinforced with gold. And you see that it has an ancient dwarven lock.
I go like, hey, can we like put this on the boat?
And from what you remember as a child, there were like stories of these ancient dwarven treasure ships. But you don't remember them being on the river. But why not? Right? Why not?
Oh, why not? Okay, I'm like...
The mass on that debris of riverboat cracks, and the boat disassembles upon you. The chest sinking into the ground as you try to leap off and hit your head across the boat.
Ooh.
You take 5 wounds.
5 damage?
Yeah. Thankfully, Nick, you get to roll a save Rampage from further peril.
Okay.
What?
And what kind of check would I be rolling?
You can either use athletics or acrobatics.
To be honest, those are both equally bad for me.
You could attempt to get someone to help you.
I think Nick knows what the smarter option.
Could I attempt to deceive the rest of the crew into helping me?
Yes.
I rolled a 3, essentially. Because
So, Mr. B, you hear Nick frantically telling the crew about how a giant eagle picked up Rampage and flung him into the ocean of the river. No one's really buying it because the river's not much of an ocean.
I think our best bet for this little charade is Billy. Honestly,
Okay.
because
Okay,
I do not want
okay,
to rely on my. So okay, here's what we'll do. So I'll roll a perception check to see if I hear all of this nonsense going on, and let's just say if I'm successful, I'll try to alert Billy.
Okay.
Okay. 7. We'll take it.
Well, it turns out to a 13, so.
Okay. You definitely hear it, and you definitely bring it to Billy's awareness. Though he is deeply concerned for a moment, but then he calms down and begins to roll for a plan.
Is it bad, by the way, that deception is my highest skill?
And with that, Billy disappears. And Rampage is back on the boat.
I approve.
And on the debris, you see a dagger.
DK, I would like to deceive people with an amazing story of the rescue.
You can, but it will be at a massive penalty.
Well, I'm not claiming I made the rescue. I'm just creating a story out of no.
Yeah, no, go for it. Feel free. I'm just going to let you know that there's going to be a penalty.
Okay. There you go.
This time, you make sure to bring the appropriate supporting facts. You bring some pre-prepared drawings showing Billy escaping into the shadows, appearing into Rampage's shadow, picking him up, leaving the dagger, and reappearing back at Mr. B's shadow. You have very detailed drawings of this. You believe that the dagger was somehow involved in the moving into the shadows.
But by the way, DK,
Mm-hmm.
Their computer has apparently died for some reason.
Which computers died?
Mr. B's apparently.
Oh.
They said BRB RF killed the computer, and they've been disconnected, so they didn't hear any of that.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for them to get back.
So we'll have to retell this story when they get back.
Oh, Rampage Force killed the computer. Oh no.
Okay, hi.
welcome
Hi,
back.
I'm back. Okay, so why was there a stealth roll and a deception roll?
Okay.
Go ahead, Nick.
DK, you tell the story.
Okay, so Nick wanted to roll to deceive everyone with a story based on what Billy did.
What did I do?
So here's what Billy did. This is what Billy disappeared in front of Mr. B. He and behind Mr. B is you and Billy, and all that was left on the refuge is a single dagger. So Nick brought out some very detailed drawings and decided to tell everyone what happened. According to Nick, Billy took the dagger, threw the dagger onto the debris, traveled through the shadow of Mr. B over to the shadow of the dagger, grabbed you, pulled you back through the shadows, and reappeared out of Mr. B's shadow. His detailed drawings proving that this is exactly what happened. And his drawings are so detailed. And apparently he has several quotes from some sort of book, but no one's really fact checking anything at this point. Is Mr. B back, by the way?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
he's
both
here.
here.
Okay. Just making sure.
I like that. Billy is amazing.
Well, Rampage. This is just how I have told everyone that Billy has done it.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I was curious what that was. I just wanted to look what that attack was. I was curious what that meant, so I apologize for running that across the thing.
So. Yes, DK, that was a completely and utterly pointless deception check, but it was worth it.
All right. So, Mr. B, would you like to roll to see if that treasure chest was real?
And what am I rolling?
You can either roll history or shadow lore.
Wait, I do have a question. Did we still get the chest? Or is it in the bottom of the river?
You absolutely knew whatever story Nick twirled is not based on any kind of reality. Though it did have an interesting iconology on it that suggested it was something important. And possibly was something like possibly ancient. But why was it in the river?
Looters.
That is a question for further study.
Looters.
I mean, that's a pretty good explanation, actually.
Yes, they looked in. They saw it. They grabbed it. They knew that they couldn't get in, so they threw it in a river.
No, I mean, it was originally a boat, Rampage.
I kind of miss not having a navigation skill.
See,
I missed that off of Dark Heresy.
Yeah, or if we were playing like Pathfinder or something. That game has way more skills. You can roll checks on.
All right. Well, I'm getting double. Okay. Rampage, why don't you go ahead and roll us another perception check?
Okay then.
Up ahead, you see a log kind of stuck up from the bottom of the river going up. Can you roll an intelligence check for me? I'm sorry, a intelligence saving throw.
So I find intelligence somewhere in this.
It's in. Well, I'm surprised you found that so easily. That's actually just your regular intelligence roll, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
The saving throw is in a box to the right, but that's okay.
I remember.
All right.
Right now, Limbo.
Hey, Limbo.
Hi.
Hi, Limbo.
Ah,
And then Limbo.
hi,
just
Limbo.
Rampage, you begin to wonder, mind you, about what that log would do to the boat.
Are you guys watching Lord of the Rings or something?
No, we're actually playing Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Welcome to
Yeah.
our stream.
Oh, hello!
Yes, you're actively on stream.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't have Lord of the Rings, so see you guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye,
It's not
Limbo.
actually like okay.
So, Rampage, you kind of are a little worried.
I go, hey, Mr. B, what would this do to the boat? I just go like, hey, log.
Mr. B, do
thing.
you want to put Rampage's mind at ease or let him panic?
No, I'll put him at ease.
From what you can tell, the reinforced metal on the boat would easily break that lock. And the wood is strong and good.
An excellently constructed boat.
It seems actually maybe over-constructed, maybe.
Was
It's a
that a
war
good
boat.
group of constructor people?
Okay. Rampage, can you roll a deception check?
A deception check.
Yeah.
Nick, can you roll this for me?
We're very good at deceiving people here, Chris.
Rampage, you hear the truth in Mr. B's voice, and it soothes you. The wild thoughts in your mind have been completely dissolved. You know the boat is safe and secure.
Oh, okay.
So,
What was I deceiving?
yourself.
I was deceiving myself.
Well, see, the thing is, if you failed it, you didn't believe him.
Ah.
So the thing is, he was telling you the truth, but this is if your character believed that truth. Or if you would self-delusionally deceive yourself.
I feel like this role should have been reversed.
The thing is, he wasn't lying. So this is you rolling to see if you are going to lie to yourself
Okay.
through a form of self-doubt.
You know what would have been better is if Rampage had failed the roll, and then like he needed someone else to reassure him, so he came to me, and then I rolled a 20 to deceive him, thinking the boat was going to be destroyed.
No. No. But that would have been hilarious.
So now I'm going to have each player roll a D100, and we're going to kind of skip ahead.
Oh, wait, you want me to roll a D100?
Yep, everyone gets to roll a D100.
Bang. Mr. B rolled a 9. I rolled twice. Because it's Billy.
No, I said each player.
Oh. Well, then take the first.
Okay. Just seeing if Nick can roll a D100.
I don't know why you needed me to roll D100. I was typing, so I was paying attention. I rolled a D100 for you.
Yeah, I see that. Good job. All right. Okay. So, let's see where y'all ended up. Here we go.
Wow.
As you pass the old ford, a figure that y'all could notice, a familiar one, still on the bridge, looking out across the river. And Nick, you noticed he was waving.
I shall wave back.
Wait.
The waving continued as he faded
wave.
out from vision.
Okay,
Kind of on.
I'm good with that.
Rampage. You found another extremely well-preserved fish. When you woke, you found this plate of well-preserved fish directly on top of you.
Yay!
I mean, this is your breakfast Rampage.
It's actually kind of funny. I'm gonna make a little side comment. On the inn, I had her actually in the inn.
Oh, I saw. I just didn't come up.
In the same room as the little girl that was with the orc. I thought that was kind of funny.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, how many
That makes
how
sense.
many fish do I have?
Makes sense.
You just gained one more, so I don't know how many you had before.
I have 2 now.
Okay.
I feel like a whole plate would be like more, but you know,
Okay,
it's
you
a
know
lot.
what? Go ahead and add 2 more well-preserved fish.
So 4?
It depends on the
Like,
type of fish.
It's fine. You can have 4. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have well preserved. You should all fear me. I have well preserved.
Mr. B, you notice as you pass the east and west valves to the end of where your river journey will end. You notice the eagles flying away,
Okay.
for you have departed further past their watchful eyes.
See ya, bud.
And you've come to your final destination, where the road meets the river. And with a sound, you hear giant oars kind of placed into the river to slow the boats down. As some men go to the other side to kind of take a rope and rope up the boats so they don't continue going down the river. Your party departs with no major incident. Now, from what I can tell, you're going to head east, across the road, obviously, to the next river location, to Nick's river friend. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, Nick, can you roll a lore check for me?
Sure. You said lore?
Yeah.
Why lore?
This is just to see if you remember
7.
anything about this area, like historically
Oh.
or
Well,
fictionally.
I'd actually be better at history then.
You could also roll a history check as well.
Okay, yeah, because history I'm much
The thing is, the information you gathered from this would be different based on like each roll. Lore would let you know about kind of like some maybe not historical facts that may be historical but no one believes. You know, stories and tales from the people versus kind of
I've
hard
already-
facts from books.
Well, no, like not all books tell the truth. So
Well, they all tell the truth, including the lies.
what?
Especially the lies.
Here's the thing to remember about those books, Rampage. They tell the history. The that people wanted them to tell.
Ah.
Okay. You don't recall any particular lore thing that would be in this region that people should in any way bother with. Historically, you do know that the path to where y'all need to go can be a little bit. Some people have gone missing, but not a big deal. You know, small statistic, right?
Not a big group like ours.
Well, okay.
It's a big
People go
Bermuda
missing
Triangle.
everywhere.
Okay. So, you continue towards that station. Now, Nick, the party did decide to only bring the 2 Rohan and the party and Pip. And they decided to leave everyone else there.
So does that mean that it's me, Mr. B, the 2 Rohans, Pip, and Rampage, or
And
You
Belly.
and Billy.
And Billy.
Dan's in the sack.
So we did not bring any of the other players.
Players?
We'll assume that all the other players are going to come and not stay. That would be really awkward in case one of them showed up next episode. They left
We left you
Arceus.
behind, buddy.
Yeah, you're like really far away.
Well, see, I've had really crazy ways of introducing players back into the story. I had one person like commandeer a jeep with a jetpack. That was how I entered them back into the story.
No, DK. Let's be clear about this. They commandeered a jeep. The very large man got on the back with his jetpack. And that's how they got back into the story.
Okay, fine. I mean, sometimes you just have to jet propel the jeep to get to where you get back into the story.
Exactly. While you happen to be wearing that jet
Yes.
on your back.
Okay. So, Mr. B, you get to roll if there's an encounter. So, what stat would you like to roll to prevent an encounter?
Prevent?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Also, did we bring my bodyguard?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if the team had said no, your bodyguard still came.
Okay, who is your bodyguard?
It's not important, Rampage.
It is important to me.
Not important.
It's important to me.
It's not important, Rampage.
It is important.
What is important is that Mr. B rolled an 8.
I'm totally out of my depth in this area, so it shows.
What's funny is I have a better passive perception than that.
That's
That
with,
is my path.
Okay,
that's with a
Mr. B.
+6, by the way.
Mr. B, I'm going to have you roll one more.
I'm a woodland guy. All of this river travel has not done me very well.
I'm gonna give you a roll with advantage. Shadow
Wait.
lore.
Wait a minute though. Is we're in the territory I know, so shouldn't I be the one preventing the encounter?
That's kind of what I would think, but I'm
Because-
gonna roll my dog as well.
Your lore check would have prevented the encounter.
So-
Had you rolled a little bit higher, just a little bit.
Didn't you want him to
Well,
roll
I
a
would- I-
advantage
I would-
shadow lore?
Wait though, since I know this area.
Well, no, I'm giving another party member a chance to perceive a threat and make an altered, bring the information to you, essentially.
So can I roll the dog?
Well, you actually did good enough for this.
Okay.
Okay, you didn't auto the idea is if you would have gone higher, you would have went light bulb and immediately alerted Nick of something.
Mm-hmm.
But you have enough that maybe you have like this real feeling, and so now you're kind of more deeply thinking about it. So shadow lore with advantage.
Oh, I didn't hit the advantage.
That's okay. You auto passed.
Oh well, that was.
He rolled it. He got it to a 20. Like that beat the check.
When it matters.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. B, you start seeing signs of things, and they're things that you remember with you and Dan running into something really nasty in the forest, and you remember it really messed up Dan. And you're kind of seeing some of the same markings on the trees in this area. You feel like maybe you should bring this up with Nick.
Hey, Nick. These markings on these trees are strangely familiar.
Does Mr. B remember this?
Nope. The crazy that wood sprite deal?
Mm-mm. This is one that, like, the encounter that almost killed Dan.
I don't remember that one.
No, nor do I.
I don't know that I was present for that one.
Okay. Okay. So, Nick, Mr. B has something to tell you.
I'm listening.
Do you recognize these markings on these trees?
I will look at them, Chris.
Okay.
Shadow.
You don't remember them, but you remember something about... You, in fact, remember not being part of this because you decided... You kind of listened to Mr. B's story and recollection, and you realize you chose not to participate in this encounter. You do remember Dan got really hurt by this giant dog thing.
Was this the werewolf?
Mr. B got it.
Oh snap! Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, wasn't that
Let's go.
I said I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, you actually, as I recall, you elected not to be part of it because you said that was dumb and you weren't going to do it. So,
Can I recognize these?
I don't remember if you were even in that encounter. I think you might have been eating pizza rolls. That's why Dan was in so much trouble. It was just Dan and Mr. B holding a werewolf off by themselves.
I don't remember when I was eating pizza rolls, but I remember everyone got 4 gold coins and I got 2, and the rest went to pizza rolls that I ate.
Okay,
And
so
then someone put up
what
a
are my
sign
actions
about
to
me.
avoid
That was
this?
amazing.
So, Nick, because you know this, you're now in a position to lead the party away from this danger.
Okay, so I shall lead them away from this team.
Due to your knowledge of the area. See, I had a good tie-in for all of this. So if you had passed the lore check, you would have automatically registered what this was, essentially. But I gave a character the ability to help you. Alright. The party successfully makes it to the river location. Where your friend. So Nick, because he's your friend, you get to give him a name.
Okay. First question.
Mhm.
Is he a dwarf?
You get to create him. Like tell the party about your friend.
Now you have to let me think for a second here.
See, because if I name him, he's not your friend anymore, unless like I continuously use him, and I'm not going to do that.
Okay, we're gonna make this a dwarf, Chris.
Okay.
He has to have a very large understanding of spinning.
Yes.
That's step one. If he doesn't have a large understanding of spinning, he's just not worth it. Okay.
Okay.
I want him to be very good at cooking. He's a good chef. He's also pretty good at running a boat. He's not so good with numbers though. He's not real great at the whole keeping his finances thing in check. So he's hired someone else to do that for him. His name is Gale. And yeah, that's all I got about him.
Okay, roll a deception check.
Roll a deception check.
We'll see how much of your story is true.
There you go.
Okay.
10%.
No, essentially, roughly 50% of what you just said is now true.
Roughly 50%.
So the part that comes before Gale, who is a dwarfen fellow, he comes upon you, Nick, and he makes the motion of perpetual motion, which you know to be a higher symbol of spinning.
Yes.
Because true spinning is perpetual and never ending.
And I understand this as a fellow man with a very great understanding of spinning. I understand this, Chris. And I make the appropriate greeting back.
You feel like someone is really angry at all this.
This is not important.
Rampage, you see a young lady with blue eyes and kind of red gingery hair. Just scruffing at her father, who is making this ridiculous gesture, and Nick is returning this ridiculous gesture. You can tell this young lady thinks they're both a little bit mad. Or maybe a little special.
I try to recreate the gesture.
You notice now her eyes are to you, and you feel them flaming upon you.
Yes, this is great.
And then I go have it, and I have a good laugh, and I shake Gale's hand.
Gale grabs your hand, pulls you close, and gives you a giant hug.
This is okay.
This is okay.
It's a little hard for him because he's a little short. It's a little awkward.
Fine.
But you notice him laughing, and he's like, come on, Marty, come on. It's all for good in games. No, Father. It is not. As she kind of pouts away. By the way, Rampage, you have now been marked.
Is this a good or bad thing?
Depends on your point of view.
You've gained the mark. Let's see. The hatred of a young lady. You feel like your name's been added to a book. Though you're very sure you never gave your name, you feel your name has been added to a book.
You feel that this book may also include the names of all of your family members. And where they live.
And you think this book might be a book of grudges, perhaps. And you know that your actions may one day come back to haunt you.
Have consequences, you mean?
Sure.
Rampage, Dwarves do not let go of grudges.
Generational.
All right. You see the riverboats. Oddly enough, Nick, he's actually added some guardrails so that the horses will be kept steady. And these are
So that
basically
Rampage won't run off the side of the boat again?
well, no one can guarantee
Blame
that.
Nick.
These are kind of like a set of river rafts, river ferries. Sorry,
Gotcha.
essentially to move goods back and forth across the river.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to bail at this point.
All right, so I guess this is a good stopping point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you all happy with the progress we've successfully made tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So Rampage, what are you up to?
Not much.
I hear you and your father were streaming some Star Wars. Did you really make him do
Oh.
that puzzle?
Wait, what?
The
What?
puzzle where you push the balls?
I think he did. You did, right?
Yeah, we did the puzzle, the
Okay.
ball puzzle.
Oh, I'll be
Okay.
honest, that section took me a lot longer than it should have, and I'm a little ashamed of myself. So, Mr. B, I think you might have done better.
Of course, he had my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I might have, raised my blood pressure on that level.
Have you got your double-sided lightsaber yet?
No, I'm on that planet. I just haven't had a chance to, continue. So when I went to go play it, it wanted to do an update, and after the update, it was like, no, I'm not going to work anymore, so I'm going to have to kind of mess with that, see what's going on.
Yeah, I did. I followed a guide on where it is and all that nonsense, and now I have it, and I'm not done with the. I just got to the third planet, so dab.
Interesting enough, I think I went to the Night Sister planet as my third planet. I don't know if you made the same choice.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So, Mr. B, what things are you up to?
We've been rebuilding our recording streaming area. That's been taking up a lot of time, and still working on that, and then getting ready for work again after 4 days being off. Been nice.
I bet. All right, Nick, what have you been up to?
Just downloading some games, playing some games, launching Generation Zero, that kind of thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What is Generation Zero?
It's the game me and Chris are going to play immediately after the stream. So,
Oh, okay.
well,
there is a game I want to review, and if it passes muster, I might talk more about it with y'all. But I want to make sure it's good, family clean before I push any further with that. It's a different game. There's essentially it's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons style first person RPG.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of want to make sure that it's not. I kind of want to make sure it's good before pushing forward with that. All right.
Yeah.
With that said, though, have a wonderful night, and I feel bad that I may have lost the conclusion to the Lord of the Rings. I guess that's on my other computer, maybe. I don't know. Oh no, it was on this computer, and then I had to reset. Okay, never mind. It'll be fine. Everything's okay. So I'll see y'all next time on Dragon Ball Z.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.